couldn't even hear me, could you? There's April. Yay. Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Welcome, you guys. This is a public coaching call. I try to do them about once a month. Sorry. And we have one person I'm bringing on today to coach, April. She'll be on. Maybe you've seen her before if you've watched my other calls. And what I want to say is you can always volunteer to be coached. It's interesting that hundreds of people sign up to be coached, but not very many, or sign up to watch, but not very many actually want or volunteer to come on and be coached. I'm guessing there's a lot of fear and confidence and worry and all those things. But I want to share with you that if you decide to feel those terrible feelings and do it anyway, it will be greatly rewarding in your life and your business and everything. So I also do one-on-one coaching. If it's something you know you want to do, but you're just not interested in doing it publicly like this, you can always check out the coaching packages I offer. 3cowmarketing.com/strategy is where you can book a free session to decide on investing in coaching there. But otherwise, these I do once a month for free. So let me bring April on. Okay, April, you're coming. All right, April, can you hear me? Let me see.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really good. How are you?
Good. Let me turn you up on my end so I can hear you. Oh my gosh, you got good lighting. I love it. The replay is going to look great. And everybody watching, yes, there'll be a replay set out. So thanks for volunteering.
Of course.
Telling everybody. I hope they give it a try. So you might mention that. Why should, so like I said, hundreds of people sign up to watch, but not very many people want to go on camera and get coached like you volunteered to do. Why should they give it a try? You tell them. Is it worth the pain?
Oh, yes, it is definitely worth it. I really like the fact that I'm not in a room with you. And so it doesn't feel like there's a whole bunch of people watching me have this conversation. So that really helps.
Yeah.
You don't really feel like it feels like you and me are just together, and I don't even think about other people seeing this.
Yeah.
So,
good.
No, the advances that I've taken in my life since I've started getting coached by you have just been outrageous. And what I say outrageous is a big move for me would have been, switching from, before it would have been like switching from drinking soda to water. And after I got done after our coaching together and the progress that I've made in my life, it's like now I'm on a full-fledged diet and losing the weight and succeeding in the things that I need to succeed. I use these tools in my life daily. This isn't just this period where I'm sitting here with you for the 15, 20 minutes or whatnot. But
yeah,
if I get upset or angry, I'm asking myself different questions. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's changed my life completely. I've done so much therapy and so many different options in life, dealing with PTSD and working with the VA hospital and stuff like that. But the results of this are just, they're exactly what I want to see in my life is if I sit down and I do a thought model with myself, the results are instant. I feel better, really better.
Yeah. This is so cool to hear. And I didn't ask you to prepare anything. That's just, thank you for sharing. And, I was just thinking, we've been working together since like last September or October. And it's amazing what coaching does for people. And I have my own coach. I meet with someone every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the month as well. And it's life-changing, and it affects every area of your life, including your business and your bottom line and all that. So,
and your relationships with
yeah.
people in general. And
Yeah.
if anybody is, if you're interested in doing coaching, the one thing that I wish I would have done at the very beginning was like write out this person, like all of the things that I was having trouble with, or kind of just something that I could go back to, because it's hard to see the progress. I can see it, but
Yeah.
it's not like my mom sees it. My mom's just floored. My boyfriend's just floored, my family and stuff, and I'm just like,
Amazing.
oh, all right, this is still hard and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know what I do that helps me? I don't know if you ever did thought downloads. I do them in a journal. I have yours right here. And I go back and look at my thought downloads from a year ago. And it's like, oh my gosh, the difference between the stress and anxiety and lack of managing something that was going on in my life compared to today. And then I'll look back 3 years ago and I see the progress that way. So it's amazing. Well, good. So let's dive into what you want today. And you emailed me ahead of time. And yes. I'm glad you did, because I was able to save some time and write things down here. And also, I think this is a topic that will help almost, if not everybody in my audience. It's on time management and keeping a schedule. Okay, so the job of a coach, just so everyone knows, my job is to show my clients their brain. I'm here to show you what's going on in your brain that is causing you to not get the results you want. So people come to me because they aren't happy with the results they're getting in their life. It's not because I have all the answers. It's because I am trained in showing you what's going on in your brain that's holding you back. When you become aware of that, you realize you have all the answers. It's so cool. So that's what I'm going to show you here today. So when April emailed me, that, you see the benefits of having structure in your life, in your days. You said you love the part of structure that makes to-do lists, put them on the calendar, eats amazing food, reads, studies, keeps a clean house, organized life, exercise, meditation, deep connection with family and friends. So you see all that value in structure. And then what happens is, and this is what she emailed me, she has all these thoughts. I've been a slave to routine my entire life. She said, starting with my father's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. scheduling, then committing to the Army and its rigorous schedule, then 84 to 100-hour work weeks building roads in Alaska. Are you a badass or what? and then another
very scheduled.
Yeah. Another thought, I'm done with schedules and anxiety. I just want to be at peace. But if I fail to do one thing, then you beat up on yourself. Okay, so this is what I call a thought download. It's like when I ask, hey, April, what do you think about keeping more structure in your life? These are your thoughts, okay? And our thoughts, researchers, neuroscientists can show us, our thoughts cause our feelings, and feelings drive all action. So just reading all these thoughts, like what's the general feeling going on right now? Or feelings, what's going on for you when you read this? Anxiety is one of them.
Yeah, anxiety. It's just, I don't know, the same, always, there's no freedom. What would be a good feeling for no freedom?
Yeah, like in jail, your hands are tied, no choice. Decisions are made for you. Yeah. Okay.
Limited. I feel very limited.
Yeah. Held back, held down.
Yeah. Which wants me to break free.
Right. Okay. So just notice that this is what's going on in your brain. And we have, I know it may feel like you didn't choose these thoughts because these are very habitual. So you've trained, it looks like, you know, starting when you were a young kid, you've started developing thoughts of, oh my gosh, got to get up at 5, bed by 9. You develop thoughts and the subsequent emotions that now you've been practicing for decades, and they are deep habits in your brain. So when you think about structure, all these things, thoughts and emotions automatically come up. And
Yes.
me, if you know, if I look at these, the last thing I want to do is develop structure. You know, these thoughts make you want to run from structure, right?
Yes.
So that's what's going on in your head is you think of structure, you know, there's some good things about having structure. You've had some benefits, but then all these automatic thoughts you've thought for decades, if, you know, and years at the very least, jump into your brain. And it's like, whoa, to heck with that.
Yes.
Nobody would want to develop structure if you presented them with these thoughts first, right?
Right.
So this is what's important to notice is it's not the lack of structure that's holding you back. It's not that you don't have the right calendar system or the right alarm clock or the right message on your phone. It's 100% in the way you're thinking about time and or structure. Okay? So I want to pull one of these thoughts down because the brain, we need, in order to change your brain, we can't just look at all these general thoughts. We got to get really specific and hone in. That's how change in your brain happens, is we pick out one thought. So which one of these, oh, go ahead.
Oh, so when I go in and I do my thought download like that, it's beneficial to go through each one of these thoughts eventually, or to pick one and kind of just broaden it?
The beauty is yes, you can go through all of them, but once you start going through one of them, it will help you with all the others. So
Okay.
one of them will get you some change, and then you can do a second thought, and pretty soon you won't have to go through all of them. So,
okay.
So let's choose one of these. When you think about structure, how do you feel? What's the predominant feeling?
Controlled. Is that a feeling?
I think so. Let's check it out. Why do you feel controlled? What's your thought, your thinking?
No choice.
Okay. So the structure is just I call it a circumstance. That's what the C stands for. It's just neutral. And your thought is, I have no control, and you feel controlled.
Controlled. Limited.
Yeah. Limited. That's a good, which one, does one limited stands out more? When you feel limited about the structure, what do you do? How do you show up? What happens?
I fight back. I rebel.
And what does that look like? If I were going to see you fight back against structure?
You know, this sounds silly. I'll, you know, for example, I'll have an hour of my day scheduled to read, and then the timer will go off for me to go do something else, and I'll say, you know what, I'm going to keep reading. Because I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Or if I want to take a nap, I can take a nap. Or but then I'll counterdict it, because I'll still do, like, I still get up every morning and I milk my cow. I still make sure all my animals are fed. I still if I do the dishes, I give myself a pat on the back, like, good job, you did great today. But that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So let's just notice, from a place of feeling limited, you fight back. And the way that looks is, if your timer goes off to start the next task, you're like, no way, screw it. I'm going to keep going because I can.
I'm a horrible employee.
Okay. And notice, I just want to point out that you said, I mean, that's self-judgment too. So then you judge yourself.
Right. I'm a horrible employee.
Yeah. So you judge yourself. What are you not doing?
Oh man.
When
I'm
you
not
feel
engaging
limited.
with my customers. I'm not getting my projects done. I know that in order to reach my goals, I need to set miniature goals to accomplish those, but I can't, I'm having a hard time just even getting those miniature goals done. So my big projects aren't getting accomplished.
Okay, so you're not taking small steps and you're not getting the big projects done. And the result you're creating in your life is it's kind of out of control.
Yeah, it's all backlogged.
Nothing's getting done. Out of control. No accomplishments. Backlog of projects. So look what's happening. You think, oh, I'd like to keep more of structure because you know it serves you in certain areas. And one of your first thoughts is, well, I have no control. And you feel like that makes you think the structure is limiting you. So you feel limited.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel limited, you rebel against any structure that you did set up. Like if you're supposed to go on to the next task, you rebel and you don't do the task. You spend part of that time judging yourself. So now you feel bad about yourself for not doing the thing. Projects aren't getting done. Little things aren't getting done that contribute to the big things. And you just have a backlog of things. You are proving to yourself, you're creating evidence for yourself that you have no control.
Cool.
Yeah.
And my list just keeps getting longer and longer and bigger.
Yeah.
Never ending.
Yeah. But notice that I want to ask you some questions about this. And when I ask questions, there's no right or wrong answer. The question is for you to notice what comes up in your brain first, because that's the key. There are things that come up in your brain that you don't know what they are yet, but they're the key to what's holding you back. So no right or wrong answer. But why are you choosing to think this about structure?
Maybe because my whole life somebody else has done structure for me. They've written my life out according to what they needed, and it felt very controlling. Mm-hmm. And so now that I have the ability to write my own structure and write my own schedule, I feel out of control. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. So you're choosing this thought based on something that happened in your past?
Yes. Oh, for sure. I think the lack of control happens, or I feel that lack of control or the thought is when I schedule something and I don't do it, then it goes back on the list and we become this ongoing circle.
Yeah.
And I don't see the results I'm looking for. And so it just gets pushed off until it's like absolutely necessary. And then we have a whole bunch of absolutely necessary things to do.
Urgent.
So, right. For example, there's 15 things we were supposed to do over the last week, right? And we're supposed to all go do those things. But here in Oregon, it started raining in the middle of this beautiful month that we're supposed to, and so we've been inside, and rather than being able to divert that energy, I've just waited and held back, and now I got all these things I have to do.
Yeah, so you've created this self-perpetuating cycle here of I have no control. Yeah. So I just want to show you that you have this story. I don't know if you realize this, but you have a story about your past that's proving this to you, that structure's out of your control. And there's this, I love to
Just said it. Structure's out of my control.
yeah,
Because anytime anybody ever set structure, I had no say in it. And if I
yeah,
tried to put say in it, I was pushed down,
okay.
segregated, shamed,
So
that kind of
that
stuff.
is a story from your past that you're using to create your reality today. It's a story. It's the past is just a circumstance. It happened, and you're using your thoughts about the past today to create this same reality today. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
You know, it was funny. Like, I really wanted to just be like, yeah, it's the past. And, come on, April, move forward. But I did my little self-coaching here just now. And I go, oh, no wonder. Like,
Yeah,
you've been doing that for years. Of
yeah,
course you have no control over structure.
yeah,
You know, Uh, that's been 99% of your life. This little tiny sliver is just this.
yeah. So
Oh,
notice how that story from your past, you're keeping it very active today with these thoughts.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're very, like I said at the beginning, it's a deeply ingrained habit in you, but now the first step is awareness. So now you know. So
Oh, yeah.
the beauty of our brains is our brain wants things to be easy, which is right why it creates habitual thinking, because that preserves our energy. So it's telling you, well, no, structure's bad because you're out of control. You don't have, it's been telling you that for years because it preserves its energy. It is harder work, but it is what makes life fulfilling when you get to create how you think about things today. So what's the story you want to create about structure? Because that one, look what that one does to you. The story from your past makes you feel limited and controlled by outside forces, which is kind of sets you up to feel like a victim.
Right. Which
Yeah.
is very common for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So look how uh, how you're hurting yourself. You're just keeping yourself small. You're keeping yourself from moving ahead because of that story you've kept active in your brain for years.
Oh, for sure. Oh, man, this right here, I can see so many things over the last couple of months where I've just really started feeling it and doing other things in my life that have just started making me smaller and smaller and smaller. Even with my business, it's
Yeah.
like, I don't really want to have more customers because then I have to be more rigorous with my scheduling and make sure I respond to those emails in time when those people are asking questions. All of these other customers, they already know the ropes, so they're easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's that story from your past that keeps you small like that. So, I mean, what's that saying? Like, if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got, right?
Right.
That saying is exactly what you keep doing. You keep telling yourself the story about structure from your past that you created in your mind. You're going to keep getting that. So let's get you first. Let me ask you: are you ready to give that story up? Do you want to give it up?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
can you see how that story actually probably served you in many ways? I mean, look at the military. My son, he was in the Marine Corps. There's a reason they have structure because, I mean, you could see how it serves. If you have a unit of 2,000 guys, they have to have rigorous structure. So you can see how it served you in many areas of your life.
Yes.
Having someone else force their structure upon you. It served you when you choose to be in the military. It's the only choice, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times in my life where I was like, I didn't do this, that guy made that decision or,
Yeah.
you know, Hey, I didn't say we had to work Saturdays. It was that guy that said we work Saturdays, you know? Even
Yep.
if I was the foreman, it was never my responsibility. I didn't ever have to take full
Yeah.
100%.
So it served you in so many ways. Or when you're working on roads in Alaska, everyone better be doing what the foreman says, or you've got major problems, right?
Right.
So this story has served you in your past, but it sounds like you've outgrown it now. You don't need that story run in your life anymore.
No, that story doesn't help my life right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I love to do is I love to create my current reality. I want to create my life based on my future. What do I want? So what story do you want to tell yourself? So what you've been feeling when you think of structure on the farm, you feel like something outside of you is controlling you. There's no freedom. You feel limited, which keeps you stuck, not completing projects. But you know logically that structure works. So when you think of structure in your life now, in order to get the results you want, how do you want to feel? Let me tear this off while you do that.
I think I want to feel secure, uh, peaceful. Okay, secure.
Well, here's what we're getting at. That all emotions drive our actions. The actions you're going to want to follow your schedule, your structure.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So I want my actions. I would want to follow my schedule, um, be committed to myself
Yes.
and my priorities more. I think that's just the biggest one right there, is just being committed to myself.
Okay, so if you were committed, if you felt, that's a feeling, if you felt committed to follow through on your schedule, what would you be thinking about structure? You wouldn't be thinking, oh, it's some outside person telling me what to do again. You wouldn't be thinking that. If you felt committed, what would you be thinking about structure that's, that you want to, that will help you, aid you in doing it?
Having a structured life gives me more time, I think.
And what does more time mean?
It means that my brain gets to rest. I get to rest. A full rest, not a rest where I snuck it in, reading a book or taking a nap. A full rest where I'm not getting up and beating myself up. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a vacation, you know?
Yeah.
Giving
Okay.
Having structure gives me more time and freedom.
Okay. Structure gives me more time and freedom. And I want to put in a word, because rest was a big thing to you. Like right now, you're not feeling rested.
For
So it's
sure,
almost
no.
like I want to put a word in here like and ease. Because ease, if you do these things with ease, you're rested. So it kind of presumes that. When you think this, so, hey, we need some structure on the farm. I'm no longer going to create structure based on thoughts from the past. I'm going to create my own thoughts about it. Oh, structure gives me more time and freedom and ease. How do you feel? Does that bring up commitment or what?
It does a little bit, brings up commitment. It makes me feel in control. I get in control.
I love
like
that.
knowing that, I can set my schedule and followed through. I have so much more control of what's going on in my life.
In control, or I'm in control. You feel in control. Now, we didn't even set it up this way, but I want you to notice that this is the exact opposite of the emotion you were feeling before.
Right, which is hard to do right out of the gate, right? Like when we're trying to flip-flop emotions.
And the
That's
only thing
awesome that I
we
can pull
changed,
that.
we didn't get you a new strategy. We got you. The only thing you changed is your thought. I just want everyone to know how powerful your thoughts are. She had a thought, made her feel out of control, and she's not getting anything done. So we just worked up a new thought based on what you became aware of was going on in your brain. Structure gives me time, freedom, and ease. You feel in control. When you feel in control, what do you do about your structure?
Oh, everything becomes really simple. I set up. I set times. I give myself time.
Set schedule. By giving yourself time, you mean rest time, personal time?
Right, personal time, rest time.
Schedule. Personal time, which is the self-care piece. So you set your schedule, you schedule your personal time. When you feel in control and it's time to shift to the next activity, what do?
I get up and do it. I stop what I'm doing and start the next project, just like I would if I was working at a job and my boss said, all right, next project.
So you move to the next project with ease. The way it wasn't like someone outside of you cracking a whip. It's like you felt committed to move on to the next thing.
Right. I know that in order to accomplish the goals I need to accomplish, I have to do these little tasks to get them done.
Yeah. Or you get to do these little tasks.
I get to do these. I do. I get. I don't have to be in Alaska building ice roads anymore in the middle of winter. I get to go haul hay to my cows.
And what are your thoughts about yourself when you're feeling in control? You're moving with ease between projects that you scheduled. What are your thoughts about what's going on in your head about yourself, your self-talk?
Just very forgivable. Curiosity. Why would I do that? Why would I say that? That's silly. Way more thought processing on the fact of like that toddler inside my brain is saying, I don't want to, I don't need to. And instead of following through or giving into that, I'm able to be like, oh, I see you. I understand. All of those things that we talk about.
Compassion and forgiving. Again, the exact opposite of beating yourself up, telling yourself, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. So the exact opposite. And the result of this is you look at the result when you do these things is you have more time, life. You've created a life of ease where you get things done. Right?
Right.
Of ease, you get things done in a timely manner, projects aren't backing up. So I just want you to notice we haven't changed anything except how you think about structure. So you start out with structure, you've chosen a new thought from your future because you're ready to retire those stories from your past. A new thought is, oh, structure gives me more time and freedom and ease. You feel in control. And because our feelings drive our actions, it's very simple. It's all laid out before you. It's easy for you to set a schedule. It's easy for you to build in personal time so you have that rest and that ease. When it's time to move to the next project because you created the schedule to do that, you do that with ease. If you make a mistake, if you go out of order, if you take too long, if you break something, you're very forgiving and self-compassionate. And the result of this is you've created this life of ease where things get done in a timely, structured manner. And you have lots of rest and freedom and time.
Yes.
So what do you think of that?
I think it's amazing, just because I can see it happening in my life already, just where before getting coached by you, I couldn't even see where ease would even exist in my life. And this word is something that I'm excited because I can see it now. Like, I can easily get up in the morning and go milk my cow, and I can easily do the things that I need to do. And it's neat to be able to see that I was fighting that. And
Yeah, and part of
where
that is you can trust yourself that you're going to feel compassionate and forgiveness for yourself if you mess up too, because that's part of it.
right.
Yeah.
And like before, having that thought of being out of control, that I just constantly beating up on myself. It's like a pit bull. It just goes and it keeps going and it won't stop,
Yeah.
And this right here is, hey,
Yeah.
if we just keep working at it, just keep
Yeah.
working at it. You've only done this little tiny sliver, April. You've spent your whole life over here having somebody else control it. Give yourself a break. It's all right. Keep
Yeah.
trying.
It's a new season of life. You don't have to live that way anymore. And the other thing I want to point out too, by doing this work we just did, this process, kind of the before and after process, you still get your farm things done. And this applies to everyone in our lives. We still get the things done, but it's a matter of we get them done instead of beating ourselves up and shaming ourselves and feeling bad and overworked and super tired and stressed and overwhelmed. And the end result is we got the projects done, most of them, but we felt terrible doing it. The difference between that and taking a look at your thoughts here is you still get all your farm projects done in a timely manner with great ease. You feel amazing. You are so compassionate. And all of those wonderful feelings transfer outward to how you treat other people, your customers, your animals, your family, your boyfriend, everybody. So you've totally recreated your life. You still have the same farm, the same business, the same family, the same everything. But by changing one thought in your brain, you've transformed your whole life. It's going to be such a much more easy, simple, fulfilling life,
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And this coaching has allowed me to see that. And oh man, I'm so glad I do
Yeah.
this with you.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you.
going from angry and scared of my customers and hurt by my customers and having to feed my cows and et cetera, to I get to feed my animals. I get to be here. This is the dream I built,
Yeah.
and I get to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is a miracle. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Oh,
showing me this stuff.
you're welcome. I just want to thank you for putting yourself out there. We've worked in private for many months, and I appreciate you being willing to do this publicly. It helps so many people. The emails I get afterward of, oh my gosh, I watched April or whomever it was get coached, and it helped me see what I'm doing wrong in my own life that's causing me terrible problems or feelings, or I'm always thinking my customers are out to get me too. So yeah, I just want to thank you for putting yourself out there and being here. And then I'm going to wrap it up. Do you have any, so let me give you one little piece of advice. And this is for everyone, when you discover those habitual thoughts that are causing you the feelings that are holding you back, like victim and all that, when you discover them, and you've been having them for years or decades, they're deeply ingrained. So this is something that you're going to have to, this is your work, practicing this new thought. And my best advice for you and everyone is our minds are mostly empty. They're the emptiest in the morning, first thing in the morning. So after you wake up, if you can find some time to get quiet, do whatever you guys do. Everyone has their own morning practice that looks a little different. But one of the parts of your morning practice is practice the thoughts you want to think to create the feelings you need to drive the actions you want to take during the day to get the results you want in life. That is 100% in your control when you practice it. Otherwise, the habitual thoughts, you'll wake up tomorrow and there's that same negative thought holding you back. So this is your intentional thought that you want to practice going forward. Structure gives me more time, freedom, and ease to feel in control and live your life the way you want to live it and feel fulfilled. So that's your work, is practicing that. So it becomes habitual.
Love it. I can't wait.
Good. Okay. Well, I think that's a good note to end on. What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. This is going to be great. Thanks so much, Charlotte.
You're so welcome. Thanks for being here. I always love seeing you. All right. Take care.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.